Now, Nancy Pelosi is attacking the GOP tax bill as, quote, Armageddon, putting it up there with global threats, including pandemic diseases, nuclear war, and killer robots. You know what? Should tax cuts really be on that list? Let's bring in former Arkansas Governor and Fox News contributor Mike Huckabee. Good to see you, Governor.
You know, Liz, it's almost like she's becoming more comical than Saturday Night Live used to be when it once was funny. But to say that this is Armageddon, let's just remember what this tax bill is. It's letting people who earned the money keep more of the money that was theirs. How on God's earth is that Armageddon?
You know, it's hardly, when you think about it, Democrats do not want to go into next year's midterms with strong economic growth. Democrats and the media are saying things like America has died, that there's a coup going on. And if Democrats want to get elected, they got to get the policies to get elected, right?
Well, they do, and Republicans need to just frame this in a very simple way for the American people. The choice is the government takes the money that you earned and they redistribute it according to the people they think should have your money. Or you keep more of your money and you spend it like you doggone well like to. Now, which of those two approaches do you, as an American citizen, as an American worker, as an American taxpayer, favor? That's the decision whether you're a Democrat or Republican right now.
You put it so succinctly, because the government has gotten way too big. And the other point, too, Governor, Nancy Pelosi said the same thing about getting rid of the Obamacare mandate, saying, quote, that's a kiss life on earth goodbye. The debate on health care is like death. This is Armageddon. But wouldn't Pelosi advise we should pass the bill to find out what's in it? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I once said that when she made that comment that we got to pass the bill to know what's in the bill, it's like me saying I have to pass my lunch before I know what I had for lunch. And that may be a little crude, but it's just equally ridiculous when she says things like this. I mean, she's a great benefit and a wonderful asset to the Republican Party.
That's what Trump has said. You know, Governor, where do you come down? Democrats say the tax cut bill does slam the middle class, especially in those high tax states where the SALT deduction goes away. How do you see it?
Well, first of all, they get double their standard deduction. They have a simpler tax form to fill out. Many of them will benefit by the elimination of the AMT. But, you know, to say that, well, we live in a high-tax state, well, maybe that's the problem. It's not the federal government's problem. Those of us who live in lower-tax states shouldn't be subsidizing and paying because states like California, New York, and New Jersey can't get over their addiction to spending other people's money. That's not the fault of the people who live in the other states. And so maybe those states ought to change their economic policies. Most of them are going bankrupt. Look at Illinois.
Yeah.
They can't afford even to pay their bills. You
know, Nancy Pelosi, and Governor, you've come on the show and talked about it. She's often used hyperbole. Let's show the viewer Nancy Pelosi's hit parade here. Roll tape.
When the Republicans vote for this bill today, they will be voting to say that women can die on the floor. They don't believe in government, they don't believe in science, and they don't believe in the presidency of Barack Obama. Everybody will have lower rates, better quality care, and better access. I call them legislative arsonists. Affordable. Affordable. There's a reason. Affordable. 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 Affordable.
Now, you see all that hyperbole, right? But then remember when Sarah Palin, Governor, was really run through the ringer for claiming Barack Obama ran death panels? I mean, why is Nancy Pelosi praised for things like this and not criticized or blasted like people like Sarah Palin was?
Do you think maybe she thought that the health plan was affordable? But it turns out that it was anything but affordable. And just to, to point out that hyperbole can be an effective rhetorical tool, but when you actually believe that something is Armageddon, not it could be like Armageddon, when you move it to that point, you make a fool of yourself. And that's, I honestly believe, and with all due respect, she's made a fool of herself by saying something that a bill that is passed by Congress is Armageddon. Armageddon is the end of the world. This is hardly the end of the world.
Yeah, and you know, Governor, I was speaking to people today. They agree with Nancy Pelosi. They feel like this tax bill is Armageddon. They fall for that hyperbole, right? I mean, but to your point, what's scarier, tax reform Oh, you know, look at this scary robot made by Boston Dynamics. That's the Atlas robot. It can perform gymnastic moves. I think that's pretty scary.
I think it's real scary. I think, in fact, the Russians aren't going to be able to participate in the next Olympics, so they're just going to send some robots over there. Of course, it's absurd, though. I'm going to go back to my point. Do you believe that the government is smarter to spend your money than you are? Because if you do, then maybe this is Armageddon, because you're going to have to spend your own money. Oh, God help us all. We might actually think about what we do with our money. Let's just send it to Uncle Sugar and let him spend it for us. That's what she's saying. And I can't think of many rational Americans who have IQ above plant life who honestly believe that the government is better able to spend the money I've worked for than I am.
You know, here's the thing. Lawrence Summers, who was a top economic advisor to Obama and Clinton, he said that 10,000 people are going to die every year if that Obamacare mandate tax goes away. But, you know, Governor, you've pointed this out, too. 7 million, maybe 6 million people do not pay that mandate tax. They do pay it. Let me back up. They do pay the mandate tax because they can't afford the insurance. Do 7 million people die every year?
Actually, more than that. But here's the point. I would suggest you do this. Take a list of all the obituaries in America starting now, and then a year from now, after we've passed the tax return, see what the obituary numbers are. And if there are that many more people who are dying because of this. Look, people die every day. I'm not trying to be facetious, Liz. I swear I'm not. But this is so off the bubble that it makes these people sound like loons, that somehow an adjustment in tax policy is going to kill people, as in murder them and slaughter them in the streets. No, it isn't. That's just utter nonsense.
Yeah, I hear your point, and you make such an important point. The messaging on the left has gone so off the charts, so off the rails. But, you know, some Americans fall for it. And to your point, again, 7 million people who don't buy health insurance under Obamacare, they pay that mandate tax instead. They're not going without health insurance, apparently. Maybe they're picking up catastrophic insurance on their own. I just don't think 7 million people are dying every year. That's all I have to say to Larry Summers. Good to see you, Governor. Thanks so much for coming on. We look forward to having you back on again.